All right, so section 4.2 was about reflection. So if reflection is a transformation that uses a line like a mirror to reflect a figure, the mirror line is called the line of reflection. A reflection on a line maps every point P in the plane to a point P prime, so that for each point on one of the following properties, so that was probably one of the following properties is true. If P is not on M, then M is the perpendicular bisector of line segment PP prime, or if P is on M, then P is equal to P prime. So I went ahead and started here. So graph triangle ABC with vertices 1 and 3, B 5 and 2, and C 2 and 1, and its image after the reflection described. And the line X is equal to negative 1. So first thing you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go ahead and count and get your points, which I already put in there, and then we're going to draw the triangle. All right, so now in this one here, our line of reflection is actually X is equal to negative 1. So the easiest thing to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to take your points and count over. So on this one here, I went 1, 2. So since I went 1 and 2 for that point A, I'm going to go 1, 2 on the other side, since it is a vertical one. So remember, it's going to reflect it over this way. So if I make that point there, and that's my A prime. And if we count, remember, on our point, it has to be from the origin. So if I go over, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3. So my A prime is actually negative 3 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the other two there. So when I do C, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to get to my line of reflection. So I have to go 1, 2, 3 at the other one, and that'll be my B prime. C prime on that case, sorry. And for that one, again, I'm going to go from the origin. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go 4, and I will go up 1. So on that one there, our point is at 4 and 1. And finally, let's go ahead and do our B. So again, I'm going to count from B. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to that one there. That'll be my point. And again, I'm going to go, and remember, I'm sorry, this one here was negative 4, and same here, I'm going to count over, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7, and up 2. So my B prime is at negative 7 and positive 2, and again, connect the dots. Remember, these triangles are rigid motions. That means it's not going to get larger or smaller. All right, so just think about that. So same thing on here. So in the line M, y is equal to 3. So again, I'll connect my dots. And it's not perfect here, but that's okay. So again, same kind of thing. I'm going to tell you the same thing. So I'm going to start with B. So with B, I'm going to go up 1. So that means I have to go up 1 more, and that's where my B prime is going to be. Again, from the origin, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, up 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one here is actually 5 and 4. A prime, well, if I go with A prime, that would be, so I'm going to start here. Oh, hey, remember what they just said? If it's on the line, which it is, it's going to stay the same. So my A prime in this case will still be 1 and 3 because it's not moving. And our last one, we're going to go up 2 to get to the line. We're going to go up 2 more. So that is our reflection for C. And our C then is going to be what? Still 2. And then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 and 5. All right. So I hope everybody sees those. Okay. Let's go with the ones. Now I did these ones for you already, but again, let's kind of do the same thing. So, and I'll just show it to you just to make sure. So, I'm going to draw my line segment there, and I'm going to do the same thing now. Remember on these ones here, I told you, once I go to the line, I have to go over the line, but since it's y is equal to x, since I went up, I have to go in the other direction. So there's where my B prime will be. All right. And my B prime, if we look, is going to be at 2 and 3. Okay. And my A prime, let's go ahead and do the same thing. And remember, I kind of told you it doesn't matter which way you go. So I will go, you just need to get to the line. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, that tells me I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where my A prime will be. And where's my A prime at? Again, if I go -1, and then I'll go up 1, 2, 3. And remember, I told you could have gone the other direction. If you would have gone this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would still have to go, we went up, so this time we would go left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice we still got the same point, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, we still got the same point. Okay, so if we look here again, that's kind of our rules there. So we just did this one right here. Okay, so if AB is reflected in the line y is equal to x, then its image is the point BA. So it just takes and it flips them. So think about that. All right. Now this one here, again, we're going to see the same kind of thing. So if it's in the line y is equal to -x, then its image is the point. So it's going to flip it, and then it's going to negate them. So I'm going to have -b and -a. So let's make sure that one is true on this one here. All right. So again, first we're going to make cut here, and we're still going to do the same thing. Now remember, I told you y is equal to -x. If you think about it, what we did here is, again, if x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. If x is equal to 1, y is equal to -1. If x is equal to 2, y is equal to -2, and so on and so on. So that's how I kind of got that for you. All right, so again, we're still going to do the same exact thing I just did. I go to the line, so let's go ahead and do A. I'm going to go 1, 2, and since I want to go over it, and it's a diagonal line, I'm going to go 1, 2, and my point will be right there. All right, and if it's right, A, again, we're going to negate it, so we're going to flip it. So we have -1 and 3, and then I'm going to negate it. So -1 is +1, which is what we did, and then we had 3. Well, and that one now became negative. So, and that's our prime. Okay, same thing. And again, that's this one right here, right, people? So then our next one, we're going to go, let's see, from B again, it doesn't matter. Just go to the line somehow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make our point there. So that's going to be our B prime. And our B prime in this case, what is it? Hopefully it's -2, -3. So I flipped them and I negated them, which is what it is. And then connect the dots. All right, now the last thing is a glide reflection. So when we do a glide reflection, ladies and gentlemen, what that means is we're going to do one step and then another one. So a glide reflection is a transformation involving a translation followed by a reflection in which every point P is mapped to a point P double prime by the following steps. Step 1, first a translation maps P to P prime. Then a reflection in a line, K, parallel to the direction of the translation, maps P prime to P double prime. And the easiest way to do that is to do an example. So graph triangle ABC with vertices at 3 and 2, 6 and 3, and 7 and 1, and its image after a glide reflection. So on that one there, what it's telling us, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to do two things in order. So we're going to do one here. We're going to do the translation first, and then we're going to do the reflection. All right? So if I start, let's go ahead and see where we're at. So we're going to do 3 and 2. So I'm going to go over. Now look, it's going up by 2s. Watch the scale, ladies and gentlemen. Always watch the scale. So if I go, the first one is going to go 1, 3, and 2. So there's my A at 3 and 2. My B is at 6 and 3, so there's 2, 4, 6. And there's 2 and there's 3, so there's B at 6 and 3. And then C is at 7 and 1, so there's 2, 4, 6, 7, and up 1. And there's my C. Again, I'm going to connect the dots here. All right. So the translation first tells us to do what? It says our X is going to stay the same, but then we're going to take our Y and we're going to go to Y minus 6. So if I do A, and it was our 3 and 2, all right, we're going to say that goes to A prime, which according to the rule, our X stays the same, so that's going to be 3. And then our Y is now going to be 2 minus 6. So 2 minus 6 is -4. All right. And I'll use a different color here once we get there again. Let's just go ahead and write them all out here. So B is at 6 and 3. All right. So that one's going to map it to B prime. At again, our X stays the same, which is 6. And then our Y is 3 minus 6, or -3. And finally, for our C, we have 7 and 1. So we're going to map that to C prime, which will, again, our X stays the same. 1 minus 6 is -5. So that was 1, right? That's our translation. So let's go ahead and map that one there. And I think I used purple. So we're going to say it's at 3 and -4. So 3 and -4. Here's my A prime. My B, we just said, was at 6 and -3. And then our C, we said, was 7 and -5. So 7, There's 2, 4. All right, so again, if we go ahead and draw those ones there. Now, it did kind of make it small here, which I didn't like. I wish they would have given me some bigger, but you can still see what I'm talking about, I hope. All right, so that's the first one. And then the second one is going to tell us to do a reflection in the y-axis. So again, just go ahead and count like I showed you earlier. So let's go ahead and I'll use the green still, and I'll just use a different color. So if I go 1, 3, I'll have to go 1, 3. So there's my A prime. And what did my A prime do? It stayed at -4, but it did our 3. So our 3 became negative, and our 4 stayed the same at -4. Okay. Same thing with 7 and 5. Again, if I go, it's taken me 7 to get there, so I'm going to have to go 7 the other way. So if I do that, the 7's going to go there, right? And that's going to be our point there. And then for B prime, again, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take 6 to get there. I go 6 the other way, 2, 4, 6. And it's still at -3. So there's my B prime is at 6 and -3. Our C prime we just said was at -7, -5. And again, it's following the rules up there, ladies and gentlemen. So that's our C prime. And again, I'm going to draw my triangle. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys. I'll do the other one here in a second. So good luck.